Your memory is not a camera, it's a construction crew. Let me show you how that crew builds, breaks, and sometimes lies to you, and why that matters for every decision you make. Memory is the invisible software that runs your life. It teaches you how to ride a bike, remembers the face of someone you loved, and whispers the reason you voted, hired, or walked away. But memory is not a faithful recorder of the past. It's a messy, adaptive system that edits, fills gaps, and invents details when it's needed. That edit makes memory powerful, but dangerous. Start with a simple image. A crowded intersection, a laugh, a smell of coffee. The moment becomes a memory through 3 basic steps: encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding is the moment of capture. It's not passive. Your brain decides when to record based on attention and emotions. If you're distracted, the camera never clicks. It sometimes shocks you. The camera exposes. Attention and emotion decides what gets saved. Storage is not a single filing cabinet. Memories are patterns of connections across millions of neurons. When a pattern repeats, the connections between these neurons strengthen, a process neuroscientists call long-term potentiation. Practice amends the path. Use it or lose it. But retrieval is where the trick happens. When you remember, your brain reconstructs from the past fragments, smells, words, faces, feelings. Every time you pull a memory out, you rebuild it. That rebuild is influenced by what you know now, what you have heard, and what you expect to find. So remembering is not replaying, it's recreating. Now map the landscape. There are different kinds of memory, and they behave differently. Episodic memory holds the scene of your life. The birthday party, the breakup, the day of your first job. It's vivid but fragile. Semantic memory stores facts, meaning, such as what is a bicycle? Who wrote a book? It's more stable. Procedural memory keeps skills. How to ride? How to type without looking? It's stubborn. Once learned, it's hard to erase. Then there's working memory. The short, limited space your mind uses to juggle thoughts right now. Working memory is tiny. It's the difference between remembering the phone number for a minute and holding a complex plan in your head while you act. Working memory capacity varies between people. Some minds can hold more pieces of information at once. Others get overloaded quickly. That capacity predicts who can multitask, who can reason under pressure, and who will forget the grocery list. Biology matters. Genes, brain structure, and neurotransmitter systems shape memory. Environment matters. Sleep, stress, nutrition, and practice changes how memories form and stick. You're not lazy. You're a product of biology and context. Training helps, but it's specific. Practice the skill and you'll get better at the skill. You won't magically become a human hard drive. There is no memory cheat code. There are only better habits. Here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. Here's a small experiment I want to try with you, a memory test live. When I was about 12, I was convinced I met a minor celebrity at a county fair. I remember standing in line for funnel cake, where a man in a baseball cap walked up to me, signed an autograph for my cousin, and then posed for a photo with our whole group. I remember the autograph in my hand, his name scrawled across the paper, and how proud my cousin looked. I told the story for years like it was proof I'd had a brush with fame. Last month, I was cleaning out a box of old ticket stubs and a handful of photos from that day. There's a picture of us at the fair, no man in the cap, no autograph, and the photo where I thought he posed with us was just a blurry shot of a stranger in the background. I asked my cousin about the autograph, and he said, "I never got one. You probably saw someone else later and mixed it up." I was sure I met him. I was wrong. Confidence does not equal accuracy. Here's why that happened. First, the misinformation effect. Over time, you hear versions of the story. Someone mentions a celebrity they saw at a different fair. A friend jokes about meeting someone famous. Or you see a photo of a similar person online. Those post-event details can slip into your memory and become part of your original event. A casual comment can graft a new detail onto an old memory until the two are indistinguishable. Second, source confusion. Your brain remembers the context, the idea of the autograph, and the feeling of excitement, but forgets where the content came from. Did it happen at the fair, on the TV, or in a story someone told you? When the source blurs, the memory feels like a single coherent event, even though it's stitched from different elements. Third, assortative blending. Our brains love to connect similar things. If you have ever been to other fairs, seen other performers, or collected autographs at schools, those similar experiences could bleed together. Details migrate from one memory to another until you can't tell which fair a detail belongs to. 4. Rehearsal and establishment. Every time you tell a story, you rephrase it, and each rephrasal is an opportunity to add a flourish, to fill a gap with something that makes the story cleaner or funnier. Over time, the rehearsed version could replace the original trace. Finally, emotion and salience matters. Meeting someone famous is exciting. Excitement makes the memory feels more vivid, but vividness is not the same as accuracy. You can feel the thrill and still remember a composite. So here's the short pattern. You remember the autograph. You forget where it came from. You feel certain. You are wrong. That's why small checks matter. If a memory matters, a claim about who was there and who said what, you signed what, look for corroborating evidence. The original photo's metadata, a ticket stub with a timestamp, a time message, or someone else who was there. Ask neutral questions. What do you remember about that day? Instead of, didn't he sign your papers? And when you tell the story yourself, be honest about the uncertainty. I think this happened. but I haven't checked the photos. Memory helps us make meaning, but it's porous. The more you treat it like a hypothesis to test, not a fact to defend, the fewer times you'll be surprised by the evidence. Now connect memory to real-life decisions. This is where stakes rise. Every choice you make leans on memory. Hiring someone, trusting a partner, voting, investing. All of these rely on recollections of past behavior, conventions, and outcomes. If those recollections are distorted, your decisions will be too. For example, hiring. You remember a candidate's confident answers from an interview. You forget the missed deadlines on the resume. Result, a bad hire. Relationships. You recall the one time they forgot your birthday and forgot the dozens of times they showed up. Results, resentment builds into a skewed ledger. Justice. Eyewitness testimony feels deceptive, but memory errors can convict innocence. Results, inevitable harm. How many of your choices are built on shaky grounds? When the stakes are high, stress narrows attention and reduces working memory capacity. Under stress, your brain relies on shortcuts and narratives, not careful recall. That's why high-pressure decisions are often the worst. If you want to improve memory, you could improve encoding. Focus on removing distractions when you need to remember something. One focused minute beats one distracted one. Emotion and meaning. Tie the two informations to something you care about. Emotion boosts consolidation. After that, you need to protect this consolidation. Sleep after learning moves memory from fragile hippocampus storage into stable cortical networks. Sleep is memory's glue. Use active recall. Test yourself. Actively recalling information strengthens the memory more than rereading it. Make it a habit. Quiz, summarize, teach. Externalize. Write it down. Use calendars, notes, and recordings. External records are not cheating. They are scaffolding. Verify important facts. For big decisions, check receipts, emails, and timestamps. Reduce suggestions. Ask neutral questions when you need accurate recall from others. Avoid leading language. What happened? Beats, did you do X? Memory is not a flaw, it's an adaptation. Our brains evolved to make useful stories, not perfect archives. The storytelling lets us generalize, forgive, and plan, but it also makes us vulnerable to error. Imagine telling your child a story about their first day of school. You want the story to be meaningful. You don't want it to be a forensic transcript. That's memory's trade-off, meaning over fidelity. Treat memory as a guide, not gospel. Encode with attention. Consolidate with sleep. Verify before you act. Your brain is brilliant at making stories. Don't let it write your life's footnotes alone. Thank you, and please subscribe.